Life brings us through severe situations, often inscrutable, that test our resolve. At times, we grasp the wisdom behind them, while other times we remain in the dark. The one constant, however, is the belief that divine intervention always seeks our best interests and often positions us as instruments of justice. This brings us to Imad's story, a tale of grief, mystery, and an eerie encounter at a cemetery. Imad, through tear-filled eyes, recounts the joy and unimaginable sorrow of his life. He married his village neighbor, a beautiful and kind-hearted woman, with whom he had a son, Amjad. Their decade-long marriage was blissful, unmarred by even a single argument, until a relentless disease took his wife away, leaving him and Amjad in profound despair. The community empathized with Imad's plight, often finding him near his wife's gravesite, lost in sorrow. After 2 weeks of unrelenting grief, Imad sought solace at the cemetery again, this time bringing his son along. The boy stood jittery by a wall, scared beyond measure, as Imad sat by the grave, reciting verses. Suddenly, a tangible heaviness filled the air, sending shivers down Imad's spine. He sensed a shadow darting behind him and sprang to his feet, but found nothing. More disturbingly, Amjad had vanished. Imad's heart pounded in panic as he searched frantically, calling for his son. His desperation deepened until he heard cries from a nearby grave. Rushing towards the sound, he discovered a child standing by the grave's door, with eyes as white as snow and dark tears streaming down. Overwhelmed by terror, Imad asked, "Who are you?" "I am Vengeance," the child replied before disappearing. Imad turned to find his son Amjad, trembling but safe. Cliff-hanging their fear, they hurried back home. Once home, Imad demanded to know why Amjad had wandered off, only to be told that he had never strayed. It was Imad who had seemingly lost control and run around aimlessly. That night, Imad woke to see his son standing robotically in his room, chanting, "Avenge Hazem," before collapsing. Determined to uncover the truth, Imad returned to the cemetery the next day. Following the shadow of the mysterious child, he reached the grave, where he had an inexplicable feeling that the answer lay. Digging with trembling hands, he unearthed a necklace. Just then, the child disappeared, leaving Imad to rush out, overwhelmed. Sitting at a nearby cafe to regain his composure, he was approached by a relative of his late wife who recognized the necklace. Imad recounted the chilling events, prompting the relative to reveal that the child's mother had been searching for him. Suspecting foul play, they visited the mother discreetly to avoid her husband, a tyrannical figure rumored to practice dark arts. She confirmed her son had been sent away and never seen again, appearing in her dreams, imploring her to seek justice. United in purpose, they devised a plan. Luring the cruel husband to the cemetery, Imad and his allies trapped him in the grave, his screams echoing as they fled. That night, Imad saw the dead child's spectral form, now at peace, and finally slept soundly for the first time since his wife's death.